The topic and theme of this episode may be sensitive to some people. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, I'm Liz.
And I'm Diamond. Today on Grant News, we are speaking on a serious subject.
Around 227 school shootings have occurred this year alone, last year having a terrifying number of 336.
It's a devastating topic to go over, but it's real and necessary to speak on.
Which is the reason why we've interviewed people around the school on the subject of gun violence.
And how it affects their lives.
When you hear about school shootings on the news, what thoughts or feelings come to your mind?
I think, like every educator, that it makes us scared and sad at the same time because it's happening so much in all of the schools around the United States and even out of the United States.
Okay, to me, I feel like school shootings are something that could be easily dealt with better gun laws, with better protection for the students, with having the schools be more aware of who's coming into their schools, things like that.
So I think with this topic, it's very sensitive because it can impact anybody at any point in time. It hits close to home a lot of the time, especially when it's a neighboring state, if it's a neighboring city. But even if it just happens anywhere in the U.S., it's a constant reminder of the importance of safety in our buildings to protect students and staff.
You could really come on a Monday and think it's going to be a normal Monday, and then a school shooting could happen.
I've only been a teacher for a couple of years, so it's kind of scary to hear about it. Like, my family worries about me sometimes being at work because I've always kind of been in a protected environment.
There are children and adults losing their lives, not knowing what's happening.
Do you think school shootings feel distant, or do you feel like they could happen here, and why?
I don't think they feel distant. I think we're constantly on guard to make sure that they don't happen here. I do feel like we are safe, and I like to think that the likelihood is slim, but then we can never put our guard down.
Honestly, I do kind of feel like, based off like this area, I feel like it's possible that school shootings could happen here.
No, they don't feel distant. I think that it happens so often that it could happen here easily, just like it could happen anywhere.
To be honest, it could really happen anywhere, like I was saying, it could be a random day and a random time.
I feel like something can happen at any type of school. It doesn't really matter. I feel like it's just so many kids out there hurting.
How do you feel about the safety measures our school currently has in place?
I feel good. I feel protected a little bit.
I feel really confident with the safety measures. I think there's always an opportunity to increase. So I think like the random bag checks, our open gate system is something that is high quality.
I think that I think we try really hard. I think the administration tries, but there's just so much that you can do when so many people have guns.
I think even with our security specialist and our SRO on campus, he's very vigilant. He pays attention to a lot of the things that an average eye doesn't necessarily notice. And so we're very thankful to have him here to support us.
I feel like we're safe at the same time, but like we're not, because doing lockdown, staying in your class, like they know what we be doing inside, like, like they know our roles.
Having students who notice things and come to us and let us know, I think that's been really wonderful, because even if it's a low risk thing or the fact that students feel comfortable and safe and want to keep everyone else safe, I think that's key.
I think the locks on the doors are really good. I think the security is pretty tight. The scanners when students walk in, I think, work pretty well.
I think an additional piece is incorporating the student IDs, because a lot of times, because we don't have uniforms, anyone can come in that looks of age, right? We have so many students, and it's hard for us to know every single face. But with the IDs, at least we know like you belong here. So that helps limit the risk of having someone on campus that doesn't belong.
I mean, I feel like it's okay because there's a cop here, but at the same time, I don't think one cop could really do something against, like, a big, heavy firearm. Because really, one cop just carries a little gun, and, like, we don't really know what the other person's going to be having, you know?
Do lockdown drills make you feel safer, or do they cause more stress, and why?
I mean, they're a little bit stressful, but I think preparation helps with everything. So if you're prepared and you've, found out all of the things that you need to be doing, it does help quite a bit.
To me personally, I feel like lockdown drills, they cause me more stress because I feel like kids get more rowdy, scared, and they go crazy. They try to get out their class, or they're like they don't want to stay quiet. Like, there's a lot of different things, but to me, they cause me really a lot of stress.
I feel like I get the purpose of the lockdown drills, but I do not believe that my students do. I think that it does give our students anxiety because they don't understand, some of our students, but at least mine, because I'm in the special education space. It gives them anxiety when they're constantly hearing that over and over. I don't think they have a clear understanding that it's a drill and that it's not really happening, because if it was really happening, like, in the moment, I don't think that we would do a good job as we do when we're practicing.
I think lockdown drills are good. Obviously, like, school shootings is a big topic, and I think it's always good to be prepared and engaged and aware of, like, what to do in the unfortunate event, like, if that were to happen. And so, like, they make me feel safe, just to kind of prep you in that possible scenario. Stressed, not so much. If anything, if we didn't have the drills, I would feel more stressed, just because I wouldn't really know what to do. Obviously, I would keep all the students in my class safe, but I think having drills throughout the year kind of gets you prepped in case that were to happen.
Well, on the lockdown drills, I really question myself because I don't see why instead of them letting us run out of the school that's where the shooter is, like in the same area, they make us stay in the same area. So I feel like more vulnerable, to the shooter.
To be honest, it just stressed me out because all the people in there, they're just being loud and screaming, and yeah.
So I wouldn't say they make me feel safer. I think it's something that unfortunately we do to a certain extent have to practice. It's not something I enjoy doing. I do know that it causes stress and anxiety. And then I do know that it also, not just for the adults, but for the students, because what goes through your head in that process, like, what if this happens? The reality of how would I react? Is it the run? Is it the fight, or is it the flight? And I do know that every circumstance is different. You don't know how things are going to hit. And so I think it's a combination of, like, understanding the importance of having somewhat of a plan, but then also knowing the reality of what that impact has on individuals.
What else could schools and people in the community do to make students and teachers feel safer?
I think if you see something, say something. If you see something on social media that might target a particular school or student, letting someone know so that we can be prepared, so we can be notified. We've had several of those situations happen in the past, which have helped us to stay vigilant and be able to make sure that our school is safe and everyone inside of it is safe.
Reminder to have parents involved in their kids' lives, letting them know that they're loved and that they're taken care of by their families and their schools and the people that are trying to better their lives and not take anything from them.
That's a hard question for me. I know that it's not to take away everyone's guns, but I feel like there has to be a control on the guns, and it's just such a big question right now. And
Like, students should really open up more. Students don't really reach out to their parents, or if they really need help, to talk to people, So that's really my main thing,
Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Yeah, and put more police around here.
I feel like everyone tries to do what they can with the resources that they have, but some of the resources are limited.
Just being an active participant in the community, as far as like what you want to see, and being a participant in what you want to see, not necessarily what you don't want to see, and just being mindful that we're all wanting to learn in an educational environment where we feel safe, we feel valued, and we're able to thrive in our own capacities.
And if you could send one message to our government about school shootings, what would it be?
That it could be their child just as easily as anyone else, and when that happens, maybe things will start changing. I mean, they're the ones that are in charge and make all of the laws and make the rules, so it could be their child.
It is very important for us to protect our children. They are our future. It's not a money thing. Like, everybody always wants to think everything is about money. I don't believe that it's a money thing. It's more so of investing the right resources in the right areas, and security in schools should be a top priority for our government.
Message to our government, I think, would be like, this is an ongoing issue that keeps growing, and I feel like there's more and more instances the further we go on. At least whenever I was in high school and elementary school, there had been a few, but it was pretty rare. Now it's like you hear of a couple, like a handful every year, and it's gotten to the point to where there's so many.
That we should actually have a really good law on guns, or we should ban guns, because that's the main reason over school shootings. There's also bullying and a lot of different stuff over that cause school shootings.
To like put more police our side, have more security around the schools, you know?
Like, for him to like improve the like access to guns, cause guns are all over the streets right now nowadays. So it's just, that's really all I would want, just the guns cleaned up out the streets.
I think more needs to be done for schools in safety measures to make sure all schools have the resources that they need to be safe and to lock down efficiently and effectively. But also, like, as far as like any weapon goes, there probably needs to be some sort of regulation or laws that both minimizes the dangers of those, but also increases the security of the schools.
We want to thank everyone who participated in the interviews along with you watching.
The subject alone is sensitive. U.S. Grant wants to keep our schools, our staff, and students safe.
Telling an adult if you hear anything concerning will help more than you ever know.
At the end of the day, we want everyone to return home safely.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Diamond, and we're from U.S. Grant News.
Stay safe, and remember, once a general, always a general.